We are starting with the audio test. This is Honor 400 versus iPhone 16. This is flagship versus mid-range. Both has dual camera setup, 200 megapixel sensor and 12 megapixel ultra wide on Honor 400, and 48 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide on iPhone 16. Both looks the same in terms of the design. If you snap a case on Honor 400, it would look like iPhone 16. I think that's it for our audio test. Let the battle begin.
So glad you made it.
On the widest portrait mode, which is 1x, you will notice that you have a stronger background blur on Honor 400, a little bit inconsistent looking at the trees, but you got better gradual blur on iPhone 16. We got natural looking skin tone on iPhone 16, the colors are toned down, while we have a more vivid look on Honor 400. Also, if you look on the face, it's better exposed on iPhone 16. On 2x, you would notice that you have better edge detection on iPhone 16, looking at my wife's hair. Also, we got stronger contrast on the latest Honor mid-range. But in terms of saturation, you got a more vivid look on Honor 400. Also, there's more details on the face compared to the competition.
I play the villain if it means I'm on your TV.
iPhone 16 offers 2 focal length from 15mm to 50mm, while we have 4 focal lengths on Honor 400. On the selfie portrait, I like the skin tone and details on Honor 400. iPhone 16 is too greenish for my taste and a little bit soft. Now we're testing vlogging on both phones. So if you want to use these phones for vlogging like what I do, so we have cinematic blur on iPhone 16 and we have bokeh on Honor 400. Look at the background blur using my hand. Who picks up the subject better and faster? I think Honor 400. But you got a natural looking tone on iPhone 16. Again, this is my face. Alright, let's check the regular videos. Now we're checking 4K 30 FPS using the regular video on both phones. So we have a more contrasty feel and cooler white balance on Honor 400 compared to a warmer, natural looking, I would say, iPhone 16. Which phone do you think is better in terms of the video quality? This is a personal preference. For me, I like the cleaner look on Honor 400. iPhone 16 is a bit warm for me on daylight. Maybe on low light video, we will check later, and also outdoors. But for indoors, I think I would go for Honor 400 because of the sharpness and the contrast. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear camera vlogging test using the ultra-wide 4K 30 FPS on iPhone 16 and 1080p 30 FPS on Honor 400. We got a wider field of view on iPhone 16 compared to a 0.7x on Honor 400. Let's check the details quickly. So you got a warmer tone on iPhone 16 and cooler tone, and you will see artifacts on my hands. It's only 1080p on Honor 400. Let's do a close-up vlog using the ultra-wide. I think that's it for the ultra-wide. Now let's check the main sensor. Now this is the main sensor test, both 4K 30 FPS, a proper 4K for both phones. So we have a 200 megapixel sensor, really good sensor on Honor 400 compared to 48 megapixel of iPhone 16. I like the natural looking iPhone 16, but a bit warmer for my taste, but you have a better contrast and cooler tone on Honor 400. But this is a matter of personal preference. In terms of details, Honor 400 has good details, and also iPhone 16. Again, I really like the natural looking tone on iPhone 16. This is in close-up. Which phone do you prefer? Now we're checking the 2x zoom on both phones. So 2x telephoto on Honor 400 and 2x crop on iPhone 16. The dead giveaway here in terms of video quality is the floors. You got noisier but better details on Honor 400. You have a smoother but less detailed iPhone 16. Again, in terms of skin tone, I think you have a natural looking tone on iPhone 16. I think that's it for the zoom. On the ultra-wide, I like the color rendition of the sky on Honor 400. You got bright and more colorful image on the latest mid-range. While it's true to life on iPhone 16, the shadows are also crushed. On this brick, you would see that there's no barrel distortion on iPhone 16 compared to the Honor phone. On the main sensor, you got a brighter images on Honor 400. It also affects the colors because everything is a tad brighter compared to iPhone 16. Again, we have a natural looking tone on iPhone 16. Everything is true to life and color accurate, while Honor 400 will try to boost it. Looking at the zoom quality, we got a further zoom on Honor 400, and it also has better details than the competition. Both phones has macro capability, but we got 3 focal lengths on Honor 400, standard, wide, and zoom. This is the outdoor video test of Honor 400 versus iPhone 16. We got 0.8x and 1x on Honor 400. We don't have that focal length on iPhone 16, but in terms of colors, I like the natural looking colors of iPhone 16. Look at my skin tone, a little bit muted on Honor 400. Look at the sky and the grass. Really good colors on iPhone 16. We're checking the autofocus. And we're checking the stabilization. Alright, let's check the rear cameras. Now, this is the rear camera test, starting with the ultra-wide 0.7x on Honor 400 versus 0.5x on iPhone 16. So we have a wider field of view on iPhone. And in terms of flaring, both looks really good. But the colors are popping out a bit more on iPhone 16, natural looking as well. Look at the clouds, or rather look at the sky, bluer on iPhone 16. This is in 4K 30 FPS on both phones. Let's check the autofocus quickly. And you got a warmer skin tone on iPhone 16. This is the vlogging test outdoors, what you would see with subject or human subject in frame. And we're also checking the video stabilization. Now, checking the main sensor. So this is 1x. This is 200 megapixel versus 48 megapixel on iPhone 16. Looking at the details, it is warmer on iPhone 16 compared to Honor 400. Looking at the sky, you got a bluer sky on iPhone 16. Let's check the autofocus. And same with the skin tone, you got natural looking and warmer white balance on iPhone 16 compared to Honor 400. Let's check the autofocus. We also have 2x lossless crop on both phones. So this is 2x versus 2x. We're cropping in on the 200 megapixel sensor versus 48 megapixel sensor. And going for the 4D zoom, we got 10x on Honor 400 and 6x on iPhone 16. We got better details on iPhone 16. Switching back to the ultra wide, which phone do you think is better? We got bigger light rays on Honor 400 looking at the ultra wide. I like the contrast and colors though on iPhone 16. You got darker sky and has more punch and contrast to it. On pitch black condition, iPhone 16 is better exposed than the Honor mid-range. Going to the main sensor, almost the same as the ultra-wide. The difference here is you got better exposure on Honor 400 compared to iPhone 16. Again, iPhone 16 is true to life and color accurate, and it also crushes the shadows, giving a stronger night shot look. On pitch black condition, it's almost a tie because of the details, but again, better exposure on iPhone 16. On 2X, we got good details on both phones. You can still see the pixels on the stop sign and even the details on the holders. We got better exposed trees and cars on iPhone 16. And on pitch black condition, we got a brighter but muted colors on Honor 400. Alright, so this is the low light video test. 4K 30 FPS on both phones, Honor 400 versus iPhone 16. We have 12 megapixel sensor on iPhone 16 and a whopping 50 megapixel sensor on Honor 400. So we have better megapixel count on the latest Honor mid-range compared to the flagship iPhone. In terms of video quality, we have beautification and smoothing going on Honor 400. While we have a natural looking colors and skin tone on iPhone 16. This will be a matter of personal preference. You have a better exposed video on iPhone 16 versus a more contrasty feel on Honor 400. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now we're testing the rear cameras of both phones, starting with the ultra-wide, both 4K 30 FPS, 12 megapixel sensors on both phones. We got 0.7x on Honor 400 compared to a wider iPhone 16. In terms of video quality, hands down iPhone 16 on the ultra-wide. You got better details, better white balance, and less noise on the video. Now this is the main sensor test, 4K 30 FPS on both phones. So we have a 200 megapixel sensor on Honor 400 versus 48 megapixel on iPhone 16. In terms of video quality, Honor 400 will try to brighten up the video, but you have a natural looking tone. And I think I like iPhone 16 videos, not just on this comparison, but in general. iPhone cameras are really good in terms of video recording. I think that's it for the main sensor test. Now let's check the zoom. So we're cropping in on the 200 megapixel sensor of Honor 400 versus the 48 megapixel sensor of iPhone 16. I like iPhone better compared to Honor 400. I think that's it for the low light video test. Now let's check the video resolution. Now this is the video resolution test starting with iPhone 16. We got 4K on the flagship iPhone. And this is Honor 400. We also have 4K video recording on the latest Honor mid-range. I think that's it for our camera comparison video. Which phone do you think is better? I know some people are interested in Honor 400, and also because of the design, it looks the same as iPhone 16. So if you snap a case, it would look like iPhone 16 for Honor 400. So in terms of camera performance and the price, is it worth it to buy Honor 400? Leave your comment down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.